LEX'S Dirty Maintenance Show.
Sweet power slide.
Hey folks, welcome to the Dirty Maintenance Show. Today I'm going to show you how to take a YALE deadbolt apart and rekey it to another key. After I turn a unit, I like to rekey the deadbolt so that the previous owner cannot get into the apartment. So I'm more of a quick set guy. I do not like these YALEs, to be brutally honest with you, but this is what was here when I got here, so I had to adapt and overcome. There's my keying kit. As you can see, I'm out of 2s, so I'm gonna have to dig from the scrap pile. I don't use the key gauge. I just eyeball it, and if the pin is too low, I dump it out and try to find one that's flush. So you can use it if you want to, but I don't use it. And I don't use the push rod either. I just take it all apart and grease it with graphite just to keep everything lubed up in there. But yeah, this is the keying kit minus the 2s, so forgive me for going to the scrap pile. Alright, the tools I like to use when I do a lock is my little tech driver. Gets all the little doohickeys out of there. My pliers, give it a little squeeze so it's nice and snug. And my drill, I just drill the screws off the top. Just like that, little screws come out. Get that little collar off there. Put them to the side. Then your cylinder just comes out of the housing there. Just like that. Put it out to the side. I take my tech driver and put it right up under this lip here. Boop. Just lift it up. Slide it off. I keep my finger on top so the springs don't hop out on me. Just pop that right off. And there's your springs. Take them out carefully. Keep those little pins in there, the little driver pins. If they come out though, you can just put them back in. It's no big deal. No need to panic or nothing. Alright, now I'm going to take the back plunger off here. Just got to get that little collar thing. I call it a collar. You just slip it off. It's kind of tricky. Sometimes the lock will spin on you. Sometimes you get lucky and it'll come right out, and sometimes it'll fight you till forever. Alright, I wrestled with it a little bit, but finally got it lifted up out of there. I don't know if you can see that. I just take the little tech driver and slip it in there and just keep working at it. It takes patience. And it just pops right off there. Take the plunger out. It just comes right out there. Now these YALE locks have these little silver ball bearings in that second hole there. I don't know what they're for. Quickset doesn't have them. And that's what I'm used to, quicksets. I'm a quickset guy. They have the little silver ball bearings in there. I don't know what it's for. If you know what it's for, please message me and let me know. I've had these locks work without them in and with, so I don't know. I just carefully take them out. And I'll put them back in when I'm done. You gotta be real careful, they roll everywhere. Now I take the key that I want to rekey the lock to, and you just want to get your pins and make sure they're all flush on top, all even. On a YALE lock, all you need is the first 5 holes. You don't use the 6th hole. So we'll pull a pin and start matching up. Alright, our first pin was out of the number 1 slot. See how it's even there? It's flush to the top. That's what you want. And then you just start pinning right down the line. 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure they're all flush, even with each other. If one's a little lower, a little higher, your lock will not work. Just make sure they're all flush. So I'll keep going down the line. Alright, the 1 is flush, 2 is flush. I don't know if you can see how that 3rd hole is lower than the other 2. That's what you don't want. Your lock will not work. So I just cover the first 2 and then dump that one out. Just like that. And go for another pin. Let's try number 4 here. Number 3 was too low. Number 4 still looks a little low, so we'll dump that one. Put it back in the 4. Try 5. Yep, that 5 is perfect. That's what we want. So we'll keep rolling down the line. Let's try number 3 for the 4th hole. 3 is too high. So dump it, put it back in number 3, and it's going to need the number 2, so I got to get that one out of the scrap pile. Alright, we have a fully loaded cylinder. All of them are flush and equal. See if you can pick that up on camera. Now all we got to do is put our lock back together. I grab our little silver ball bearings. They'll usually stick to your finger. They're hard to grab. Slip it right back in there. If the camera wasn't on, I'm sure they would act right. One more. Come on. Come on. Ah, come on. There we go. Alright, little ball bearings are back in their home. Now we grab our cylinder sleeve, pop it back in there. Looks like I put it in the wrong way, so you just turn it around. It's kind of hard to tell. Just make sure it's even. You can see. There we go. That looks flush. And we take our springs, pop them in. All our springs are in. Then we take our top, and it just snaps back on. Just like that. Take your tech driver and push that little lip down. Get it nice and snug. I'll get my pliers too and just give it a little squeeze. Don't go too crazy. You just don't want it slipping off. Little squeeze. Then you'll take your plunger, put it in the top. You take this little tricky piece, little collar there. I like to give it a little squeeze so it will be snug around the cylinder. Pop it back on. Might have to give it a little, have to work it a little bit. That's good though. You don't want it to be loose on there. It'd give you problems. There we go. grab the housing, slide the cylinder back in. Like that, put it on there. Put our 2 screws back on and secure it. And we try our key. And she works. Try the old key. Nothing. That's it. And that is how you rekey a YALE lock. Thank you for watching the Dirty Maintenance Show.